Okay, tonight we're going to be talking about how to utilize Facebook specifically. And I got to back up and tell you, we set up and set out to start using the new Conklin marketing system in October of 2020. First of all, setting up to generate fast track leads. We started that in October. And then later on, we added a campaign for agricultural leads for our AgriVantage. And I'll talk a little bit more about that as I go through this presentation. And then we set up in February a contractor lead generation program. What I want to share with you is a little bit about one of the first things we discovered. I went back to, if you've ever read the Conklin solution, in the appendix, I talk about the fact that a lot of our leads really early on in our business, when things started really exploding, was they were leads generated by classified advertising. So our whole idea was that when we began this co-op ad program, we thought, okay, we'll collect some money from people, $50 to $100 a month for a group of people to place ads in magazines to generate leads that would then be captured by the Conklin marketing system. And they would learn a little bit about the business. We do some follow-up through that, through our autoresponder emails, through the videos and everything else that we send them. Problem was, in the first 4 months, our classified ads, even though we were running 30 publications, only generated 2 leads, to my knowledge. So the net result is I've figured out real quick, that dog don't hunt anymore. And so we need to look at something else. So we immediately went to Facebook, and I hired a consultant in California that is working with me on we talk almost daily, placing ads, boosting those ads, and so forth. So tonight what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into an explanation of how you can generate your own leads. Many of you that are on the call or listening to this, you have been a part of our co-op campaign. You've had leads, you've been following up your leads. And last week we did our first Zoom recording, and we talked specifically about how to do the very best job you possibly can at following up the leads that you get. We're not going to get 100% closure, but we want to get as many of those people converted into preferred customers, commercial purchasers, or distributors that we possibly can, or even customers. So tonight, what I'm going to talk about is if you wanted to run your own ads on Facebook, I'm going to walk you through what you need to do to make that happen and how to do it effectively, because this does not limit you to what we're doing with the co-op campaign. This is things that you can do when and where you want to. And the more skill you develop in this area, the more you'll be able to generate for your own organization. So to start off with, here's the first thing I would tell you to do. You need to set up a business Facebook page if you don't have one. And I could tell you my cryptic direction on how to do that, but I would tell you this. Jordan taught me this. Go to youtube.com and then search, ask it any question you want. How to change a flat tire on a 1976 Buick, and somebody has posted a little video there. They'll show you how to do that. Well, what you want to do is create a fast track business page or an ag business page or a contractor business page so that you can promote that line of products, your business, your company, whatever. So the first thing we want to do, excuse me, is learn how to do that. Well, here's a couple of really good ones. The one, if you look in the lower right-hand corner, says create a Facebook business page 2021, because Facebook does change. This guide takes you through step-by-step how to do that in 23 minutes and 24 seconds. You see the time stamp down there on the bottom right-hand corner of his picture. This gal has the same concept, but she covers it in 11 minutes and 18 seconds. Well, here's what I've learned from my son, and that is if you go back, if you open up one of those and you watch him for 5 minutes and you say, gee, I just don't like the guy's accent, I don't like the way he explains things, whatever, go find somebody. By the time you've watched 2 or 3, you'll say, hey, this is pretty simple. She makes it really easy, or he makes it really easy. And so the very first thing you need is a business page. Now, what they'll tell you is you need to have a personal Facebook page. And everybody's business page has to be related to somebody's personal page. So what you want to do is you want to create a Facebook business page, but you'll have to do it because you have a presence on Facebook already. So you have to have a personal page. So you can't have a business page without that. So what I did back again in October of 2020, I created a front door to my fast track business, and I called it Heartland Animal Health. So you can name your business whatever you want to. You can add a graphic. You can, in this case, I put a pictures. One of the things that, because Conklin specifically wants to know whatever advertising you're doing, if you're going to make any recommendations, you're not supposed to be using the company name Conklin, or you're not supposed to be using the Conklin product names as a part of your business Facebook page name. Okay, so what I do is I make the front door Heartland Animal Health. But when you come in the front door, the only thing you're going to see is fast track products. So this is what my banner looks like when you set up your business page. One of the things, as they take you through that in these YouTube videos, is they will take you through and they will show you how to add a banner to the top, which I've got here with Fast Track, and then how to add you can have a logo, you can have, you know, a picture of a horse, you could have anything you want down there in the lower right, left-hand corner too. Here's the one that I created in December of 2020, Yield Champions. The only thing you see when you come into Yield Champions is it's my brand, but it's not using Conklin. So when somebody comes to Yield Champions and then they go inside, what they're going to see is Conklin AgriVantage products. I don't promote anything else. On the in February, we launched our roofing one, and so we just call it the Secure Roof. I happen to have a Secure Roof logo that I use in our own roofing, and here you see that the banner in the front page of our contractor business page. So second thing you do is once you've created that, whenever you've had your own Facebook page, you create posts occasionally. You're celebrating a birthday, or you're celebrating an anniversary, or you're on a trip and you're sharing it with people. Whatever those situations are, you create a post, they call it. Well, in a business page, and Corey Oberlander is the one that really taught me about this, because he was doing it several years ago as he was starting up another business that he has. And he was explaining to me how you post. And then once you've posted something in a business page, unlike in a personal page, now you can promote that post to other people that are on Facebook. Well, what it does, you first of all have to create a post. So in this case, I created this post that says, if you're an owner of a vet clinic, a feed or farm supply store, owner of a boarding facility or a kennel, or an animal lover who wants to start a successful business serving the needs of livestock producers, horse owners, or companion animal owners in your area, consider becoming a Fast Track distributor and send us a direct message to get more information. The link that you see there, www.heartlandanimalhealth.com, if they click that, it goes to our co-op landing page. And they fill out, if they read a little bit more about Fast Track, they like what they see, they say, I'd like more information, they type in their name, their email address, and their phone number. And guess what? They get kicked over to one of you that's a member of our co-op and in rotation. And that's how your leads come to you that way. So what we're going to talk about tonight is, if you were creating that post for yourself, that would be a different, you would not want to use that link, because that link takes it to our co-op. What you want to do is you want to take it to your landing page. I'll show you how to do that. So here's one that I have for the Yield Champions. Yield Champions seeking representative in, and I'm going to cover this one more in detail. So I'm not going to talk about it anymore right now, but I'll come back to it. Here's one that I posted on the Secure Roof. If you have a general construction, contracting, painting, or trades experience, we are looking to connect with you. We're expanding our network of professional commercial roofing contractors with openings in your area. Our systems offer high profit and low liability. These are trademarks of our fluid applied systems that we've been installing for over 40 years. Check us out and watch our video and set up a phone interview at www.sprayroofs.org. One of the things we really stress, we're really trying to work hard at every single day on these contractor leads, especially. I'll just take an aside here a minute and explain it to you. We specifically are telling people, we are not looking for roofing projects. We are not looking for crews. We're not looking for laborers. We're looking for existing companies or people ready to start their own business that want to get trained, go out and bid, market, and complete projects using our systems. And so we really stress that we're not looking for labor contractors or projects or people to install our projects. And so we continually do that. Does everybody figure that out? No, no, they don't. But that's what we really target. So here's a created post. So here's an idea. I just took an ad, or it's a testimonial from Pete Clare, feed store operator up in Platteville, Wisconsin. They do a lot of fast track business. They've been in the top 3 for fast track sales for the last probably close to 10 years. And I start out my post. This is how I'd go to my Heartland Animal Health page, and I'd type in, if you're an ag retailer or no one in your area that wants to add an outstanding line of livestock products, then click this link to learn more. And then Heartland Animal Health. Again, that's not what you'd want to put, because I'll show you what link you'd want to put. But then it's got his testimony on his picture. So how do you learn to create effective posts? Well, again, I'd take you to YouTube. Here's a gal that's got an 8-minute and 25-second entitled 9 posts for fast track or for Facebook sales. Here's a guy that's got an 11-minute and 20-second video on Facebook tutorial on posting to a business page. There are specific things you should and shouldn't say, but the key is you want them fairly short, but you want attention getting. You want to put a picture with them if you possibly can, those kind of things, whether it's your company logo, but it should be something that grabs their attention. So what do you do now? Well, once you've got a post that you're ready to boost, I'll explain more about boosting. Here's where I want to show you how you use your Conklin marketing system for your own personal lead generation. First of all, you go to the ConklinMarketingSystem.com. You click the login. You go to the login, and once you've gone to the login, your next page will take you to something that looks kind of like this. You'll see my name up in the left-hand corner. It says, "Welcome back, Dennis Nunn." It's got my email address. It's got a list. I can click you can basically, you can read everything from here. But if you click up here, right up here at the top, middle of the page, you'll see where my cursor is going. It says My Websites. If you click that, what you're going to see is this drop-down menu come down. And if I click on my co-op campaigns, I see all my co-op campaigns. You probably don't even have that, or if you do, it'll say, well, you have no co-ops. But if you click down here on my landing pages, you click on the landing page, the very first, what you'll see is this. You'll see a whole collection of, and you've selected whatever landing page you personally have selected, you've highlighted this star at the lower right-hand corner, whatever one. This one's an ag page. This one's a building products page. This one's a general Conklin page. Here's a fast track page. Now, what you can do is you could have 6 different ads running on 6 different business pages, or you could have 5 different ads running on the same business page, but with different landing pages, because each one of these landing pages is a landing page you can use. And so what you do is you just get there's a URL for every single one of these landing pages. Now, here's something that's interesting though. You see in the upper right-hand corner here, the landing page, if it's one that's directed to your personal landing page, this will automatically be populated up here with your picture or whatever picture you've created, your name, your email address, your phone number, all that stuff. So what you want to do is select for different ads. You may select different ones of these, but you could actually have an ad going with every single one of these different landing pages, potentially something that they could link to. So the next thing you want to do, so you'll put that as a part of your post, whatever landing page you want to direct them to, your landing page, not the co-op, not somebody else's, but your own. But then they're going to ask you to boost your post, or they'll ask you when you've created your post, then they're going to ask you, would you like to boost this post? Well, the Facebook platform, just like the Conklin business, just like everything else, they have their own language. When they say boost, that communicates a whole list of things once you become familiar with it. It gives you the opportunity to get your post put in front of what you think are the right people. Every one of us, if you're on Facebook, you see ads all the time. Somebody, someplace has targeted somebody like you that they think would like what they have to offer. Now, sometimes they're kind of close, right? I mean, sometimes you've been talking to your wife about taking a trip, and Alexa's been listening, and Siri's been listening, and they all say, "Oh, hey, Dennis and Patty are thinking about taking a trip." And so the next thing you see post after post coming up in front of you about a cruise or a trip or what. Well, that's the system is stalking you. That's how it does that. But the other thing that happens is you have the same ability to put that to work for you. And when you boost a post, what that means is you're going to try to put it in your post, your testimonial, that one I created just now with Pete and Sheila Claire. I want to get that in front of the right people. Okay. So here's what it is to boost. And again, I'd send you to YouTube, and there's half a dozen different guys that'll tell you, here's how you boost a Facebook post. And it's a tutorial on best practices in 10 minutes and 7 seconds. So I'm telling you that if you'd spend about an hour or two on YouTube watching the right, situation, you'll understand how to create your own business page. You'll understand how to create a post that's motivating to people, and then how to boost. Okay. When we say boost, what Facebook is really asking you is, would you like to pay us something to put this information out in front of what you think are the right people? And if you should say, yeah, I'd like to boost, you click the button that says boost. And then what it'll ask you is okay, where do you want it? So who do you want to see this? One of the things that gives you the ability to do is to put it in a specific geographic area. And so if you say, I only want this to people in Missouri, or people in Kansas, people in Nebraska, or I only want it to Lancaster County, Nebraska, or I want it to some new area where you're working, you can pick a geographic area. You can pick when it's going to run. I want this to run for the next 2 weeks starting tomorrow. You can also determine how much you want to spend. Maybe you want to spend $20, maybe you want to spend $200. So you can do it in very small increments. It will also give you the ability to select people that have certain interests. So for instance, if I was running a fast track ad like the one I just showed you with Pete and Sheila Claire, I'd maybe look for farmers, or I'd look for agricultural livestock people. I'd look for equine, veterinarians, vet techs, trainers, those kind of people. So this gives you, and I'll kind of walk you through it. And these YouTube tutorials will show you all the questions that you need to be ready to ask. So I want to show you this ad that I ran just recently here. This was September 30th. I ran it for 2 weeks. It was published by Skylar Yaw. Skylar's the guy that works with me in California that does a lot of my posting. And it says, Yield Champions is seeking a representative in Central Illinois. Okay, I had a specific territory over in Illinois, close to Randy D. Lost, one of Ken Dean's distributors over there, has been very, very active. It hasn't been real active recently, but in years past, he's done a lot of recruiting. And we talked about the fact that we really need to restart his business. So the counties surrounding him are Fulton, Peoria, Tazewell, and Mason. So I put this ad in on Facebook. I thought, Randy's worth me investing a few bucks in. So I think I spent a total maybe $100 over 2 weeks. Yield Champions is seeking a representative in Central Illinois to cover the counties of Fulton, Peoria, Tazewell, and Mason. If you have a background in farming, agronomy, seed, or fertilizer sales, ag extension, or ag education, we'd like to offer you a no obligation phone interview. We've been in business for over 40 years, serving farmers in the Midwest with educational programs, crop production advice, and consulting service. Learn more about us and the opportunity and obviously it'll truncate this. If you click that in live Facebook, you'd see the rest of it. And it would send you to a landing page, my landing page for ag. And they'd have a chance to watch the Yield Champions video, not the Yield Champions, but the one that's the AgriVantage Champions video. So how do your leads get to you? Well, we covered that in last week's call, and so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but I would tell you this. Most of us need to discipline ourselves to do about 90% of everything we do with the system through the app. The app really gives you the ability to do that. So when you download the app to your smartphone, you'll see the first screen come up. You click on your username and your password, and then you start seeing your leads coming in. First thing I do is whenever a lead comes into me via email, I click open the app, I click on the contacts at the bottom, and what you'll see is what where that lead came in from. I can tell if it's a fast track lead, an ag lead, or whatever. And so here's one that came in, Alex Blackwood. She's getting started as a commercial purchaser, but hers came in like this. It's I actually had to scroll down so I could click it in 2 screenshots, but she's from Florida. Here's her phone number, her email address. Now, I could see that it was a lead, but I couldn't see just from looking at this that it was a fast track lead. And so then I had to go to my app, and I could determine that she was on the fast track landing page, so I knew she was a fast track lead. So this is how you generate leads with the Conklin marketing system. Oh, and I got to back up and tell you, this lead, this ad, I should say, that I ran, I got 4 really good leads. 3 of them will be at the Bettendorf Pro Ag. So one of the things you can do is you can target specific areas, say a week or 2 ahead of a Randy Oberlander program, or a Conklin Pro Ag, or a Conklin business seminar. You can run these ads, on a specific time schedule in a specific geographic area to bring in people that aren't 500 miles away from the next Conklin business seminar or Pro Ag program. And so I've got at least 3 people coming over. I'll be in Bettendorf with those folks. I'm hoping for a 4th one by the time I get there. So we talked last week about what to do next is to follow up those people consistently, and at some point say, hey, if you're not interested, let me know that, so that I don't waste your time or mine, and you write them off and you get rid of that lead. The key is we're going to get a lot of leads, and it's a matter of sorting them. But what this tool that I've just shared with you, if you'll get familiar with your own fast track, and it doesn't have, you can have multiple pages. I have the 3 pages. I have a Heartland Animal Health, I have Yield Champions, and I have the Secure Roof. You can have 1, you can have 2, you can have 10 different ones. But I would say if the more you can focus on one particular area, probably the better you're going to do. You can get lots and lots of ads running, but I think the more focused we are on who we want to recruit, what kind of products we want to lead with, I think, and the ones we're more excited about, the better off we're all going to be. So again, as Ken always says, the fortune's in the follow-up. And so I think that's really the key of everything. We're getting to the point where we're generating lots of leads. What we've got to do is figure out how to do the very, very best job of following up those leads. So that's, I'm going to stop the screen sharing, and we'll talk a little bit. We'll take some questions, but every Wednesday we're going to try to do a Zoom call like this. We're going to try to do something. I think the next most important thing that we can do now is create a series of introductory for our new people that come in. We need to create an introductory to how to do the Conklin business, how to get started with fast track or ag or contracting. So I'm planning on putting together at least 2 or 3 videos that kind of would be back-to-back, short, 15, 20 minutes for people that come in specifically for a particular product line, so we can help them get started as quickly as we can. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, and we'll be posting this to our Conklin, our Family 21 leadgen.com YouTube channel.